Aesop Rock just put out his latest album, Integrated Tech Solutions, and upon first listen, it might be his best and most accessible album since The Impossible Kid. Over the past couple years, he's put out a handful of projects, including Garbology, Real World Survival Guide, and Malibu Ken, which are all good projects in their own right. Like, they're definitely enjoyable and solid listens, but for those who don't necessarily want to get into a super conceptual album or get beat over the head with wild and wacky production, this is a really good option. Now, that's not to say that Integrated Tech Solutions does not have a concept or a theme to it. It very much does. I mean, look at the title, Integrated Tech Solutions. These are solutions in tech that are trying to be integrated into our lives, society, whatever. And this is even more so said in the intro, the ITS way. And this is not necessarily a thing that is new by any means. We've been talking about technology forever, and we always want to use technology to further ourselves and get better and just build a bridge to a better tomorrow, as the intro says, in terms of resources, networking, applications, and solutions. So all these things that at the end of the day are supposed to be beneficial to us and help us. But, maybe we're getting a little bit too far, and maybe we don't need to fully monitor and understand everything we do. Maybe we don't need to record everything. As I say, wearing a smartwatch that records heart rate and steps and all that shit. Like, these are all things that people have been discussing and talking about forever. And I think it's even more so now because we have a whole generation of people who are starting to try to separate from social media and just digital life in general. Like, I know a couple of people who don't have smartphones anymore, or they don't use social media. Like, it's becoming more of a norm, I guess. And, for whatever reason you want to have. And it's interesting, right? Like, with this album, I feel like Ace properly straddles that line. Like, he doesn't necessarily lean either way. He does bring up pretty well both sides of the arguments, but he does it in a way that doesn't necessarily beat you over the head with it. He does it in a way that's super accessible, and it's not like, oh yes, every lyric is about this. It's, okay, well, this is the idea of the project. How can you tie that idea into the song, or the song is back to the concept and idea of the project? Now, I only listened to it one time, so I can't necessarily point out individual examples, but I can talk about individual songs that I enjoyed. But before I get into that, I do want to shout out that he had really good production on this project. I do believe this is 100% produced by Ace, and this is some of the best production that he's had in a while. Like, okay, that's not to say that previous production was bad. This is just something that I enjoy a lot more than others, so calm down. Like, it's not that serious. But anyways, this album was a really enjoyable and easy listen. However, before I get into a couple songs that I liked, I will say it was a little long. It was an hour and 4 minutes, but unlike some other projects that have come out recently, this length seems fine. Ace is not necessarily somebody who is going to waste your time with production and songs that don't really have a meaning to it. Like, on some projects we'll get more of a playlist more so than anything else. This album, while you could argue that structure could be different, like you can throw these songs in different sequence and it'll probably still get the same point across, aside from a couple songs that very much need to be near the beginning, middle, and end. Like, you still get a good album. Like, you're not getting just bullshit thrown at you. Now, getting into the album and the songs that I wanted to at least acknowledge, we got the first two singles, including Mindful Solutionism and Infinity Feel Goose Down, both songs which are, again, very solid, and I feel do a good job of introducing the idea of integrated tech solutions while not really beating you over the head with it. Although Mindful Solutionism does do the most in terms of, this is the concept, let's just get wild with it, because he kind of spirals a little bit. Like, he kind of keeps building up all these tech progressions over time, and we get to a certain point where we're like, oh god, this is too much, there's so much happening. So, it's kind of poking fun at it, but also not necessarily being like, oh no, we're doing something bad. Now, There's a few standout tracks again, like Pigeonometry, 100 Feet Tall, and Aggressive Steven, at least upon first listen. And these are the types of songs from Ace that I really enjoy because I don't necessarily have to think that hard. Like, these are tracks that stand out because Ace is having fun. He's just talking about regular day-to-day stuff, and it's not really meant to have a whole lot of meaning to it aside from what he's saying. Now, yes, you can definitely argue there are parts of the songs that do tie into the whole concept of the album or individual tracks, but I mean, at the end of the day, Pigeonometry is just him talking about observing pigeons and wanting to do it, like start an art book. And by the end of it, he's realized that he's only done a dozen pigeons when he wanted to do 1,000. So he's like, fuck it. Whatever. And then 100 Feet Tall is talking about a time where he and his family got to meet Mr. T, and he thought he was 100 feet tall when he was really just 5'10". And then Aggressive Steven. Who the fuck is fucking Steven? It's like, these are the types of songs that I feel are fun and enjoyable, and they're really what I was drawn to for Ace's music in general. Because I mean, I started listening to him right before Skeleton came out. Like, I was getting interested in him at that point. And I listened to Skeleton, it was fun. And then I listened to Hail Mary Mallon. And that one was like, okay, no, wait. This guy's actually just fun. Like, he's super lyrical, whatever, but he can be funny and have fun with it. And now, again, you can get super into the lyrics. That's totally fine. If you want to listen to Ace for the lyrics, sure, whatever. I know you're the type of person that's probably seen that chart of rappers that use the most, like, different words or whatever the fuck it is. Who gives a shit? I don't care that he's the most well-versed lyricist. I don't care. Like, at the end of the day, if you can't do anything with that, like, with those words, like, what does it matter? If you can't make good music out of it, what are you doing? Mostly jokes. Relax. Anyways, I thought this album was good. I will definitely be listening to it some more. Unfortunately, this weekend was kind of filled with other albums that I wanted to listen to, so I might not get a review out for this, but if you want a proper review and a little bit more in-depth, because Ace is one of those people that I will spend a lot of time on. If you want to go back, you can see my Spirit World Survival Guide video where I just go super in-depth and talk your ear off. So if that's something you want to listen to and see, let me know. Otherwise, in the comments, let me know what your favorite tracks are upon first listen. And tell me why I'm wrong and just have bad opinions, because that's what you love to do because you have nothing better to do. With all that said, thank you for watching, and please stay safe out there.